All right, I also have some questions from Yasi that I'd like to answer today. The first being, what is my plan on spring break? So, UW spring break for my school is end of March, so it's a little on the early side in terms of weather. When I was in high school, it was always like early April, which gave us a little bit more flexibility in terms of where we could go. But this spring break is kind of the first time that I'm planning on doing like a big trip on my like by myself. Like I'm fully paying for it. Like it's gonna be me. And I really want to go to Argentina because one of my friends is studying abroad there right now, and she's having an amazing time. Like I FaceTime her all the time. We talk, and it looks so amazing. I was actually originally going to study abroad in Argentina myself. So my kind of compromise to myself is like I'm going to buy a ticket, go down there, and visit her, and I think it'll really work out because it'll be after she's spent like a whole quarter there and she knows the best places that I can go, and we can kind of like make an adventure of it. So yeah, I'm so excited for that. I honestly still have to buy my ticket. I really have to get on that before they get too expensive. But yeah, I've never been that far, like internationally, or had like a flight that long. I think it's gonna be like a 20-hour flight with layovers. So a little nervous for that, but I'm also so excited to see Argentina, to like have the food and go to like the museums there. And it's also just like a ferry ride away from Uruguay, so we might go over there, see the beaches, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of up in the air right now. Like I haven't solidified a plan, but definitely that's what I'm planning on right now. The next question is whether or not I think it's safe at night in Seattle, and then also the same question about New York. So in Seattle, I'd say it's really hit or miss. I grew up in a pretty quiet neighborhood in Seattle. It's kind of like more West Seattle area, and I always felt safe at night, like walking around with my headphones and stuff. Right now, I live in a much more urban part of it, so like I'm right on a busy street. And I think, especially as a woman, like you do have to be a little bit more careful. I think that as long as you are aware of yourself and your surroundings, you will be fine. But I always try to bring my pepper spray with me. It's kind of like an added security. And I've never had to use it. I've definitely like gotten harassed on the streets. I've had people yell at me or like chase me. I've had friends who've like had knives pulled on them, which is kind of like a extreme example, but like it does happen, and I think it really underscores the importance of just staying safe, being aware of your surroundings, and like when possible, traveling in groups. I think there's always safety in numbers. But yeah, I mean, I feel very comfortable still like traveling out at night. I still do it. I like to visit my friends, or like sometimes I have classes that run late and I just have to get like to the gym kind of later at night or something like that. And I generally feel safe doing it, but it's again just like learning how to navigate that urban environment, I think is really important. And the great thing about going to UW is that they do have resources to make people feel safer. They have something called like the Husky Night Ride, which picks you up at different places on campus and will drive you places. So it's like a private bus for students. And that's like a free service, which is great. In terms of New York, I've never actually been to New York, but I imagine it's pretty similar to Seattle. Again, it's an urban environment, it has a lot of characters. And I think like if you're a woman or like really anybody just like being alone out at night, I think that like you should be aware of your surroundings and just be prepared. I think just being able to take care of yourself and being aware of your surroundings is kind of the like a necessity in any urban environment here in the US. Okay, the next question is, what is the best part-time job I've worked versus what is the worst part-time job I worked? I definitely have some stories. I have worked so many jobs. My favorite by far is my current summer job. So I go back there every summer. It's an on-campus job, so it's all students, and it's called the Waterfront Activity Center. So we rent kayaks and stuff like that. Um, and honestly, like it's not the job itself that makes it so good, although like I love the job. So basically, over the summer, like you're just sitting out on the docks. We have a beautiful view of like Lake Washington, and we get a bunch of perks. Like we are connected to through the entire UW Recreation Department, so I get free outdoor gear rentals. I get free climbing memberships, free boat rentals when I want, which is absolutely amazing. And it's year round, even though this job is only during the summer. I get the perks year round. And it's great to be able to be outside and work outside during the summer because I think, like, not to brag, but I think Seattle has one of the best summers ever. But what I especially like about that job are my coworkers. I've met some amazing people through it, and it's like so fun to be able to connect to people that I normally wouldn't meet in classrooms, and they're all my age. And because we're working like over the summer and it's such a relaxed job, it's such like a friendly environment. Like I genuinely am friends with my coworkers, and we always go on hikes over the summer, and we like throw parties together, and we hang out at each other's apartments. I don't know, it's just kind of fun because it's such a like a niche community, but we all are like so connected through our job. So that is definitely by far my favorite part-time job. I think my least favorite was my first job. I was worked as a soccer referee for a little bit when I was in middle school and then into the start of high school. So I think I started working when I was around 13. That sounds right. And I just did not like that job because it paid for it like pretty terribly, and I had to deal with some pretty bad like coaches and parents and players that would get so worked up over the decisions I made that I'm just like, guys, can we take a step back? Like, let's remember that I am like 13, 14 years old. I'm like making these decisions and it's just not that serious. So I definitely got tired of like people yelling at me, of me having to like handle disputes and just like kind of not being sure of the calls that I made. So that job I only worked for like a few years. The best thing about that job was it was like completely on your schedule. I could sign up for games when I wanted. If I wanted to go a few months without working, I didn't have to. So that was nice, but it was just like the actual work itself. I always dreaded going in, especially because like I would be the only one working. Like I didn't have line refs. It would only be a center ref, which was me. And so it's like I didn't even have coworkers to like talk with or complain with like about all the games. So very much like a solo job, pretty stressful compared to the amount of pay that it had. And honestly, I wouldn't do it again. So the next question is, what TV show am I watching these days and what is it about? So I've actually already watched this show, but one of my roommates is watching it for the first time, so on and off I'll watch it with her. But it's called The Last of Us, and it's like this apocalypse zombie TV show based on a video game. Actually, I've played parts of the video game. I haven't played the whole thing. I really want to. I love video games. I just haven't had the time for it. But the show is so good. Like I laughed, I cried. There were plot twists. Plus, I love the actors that they cast. Like one of the main characters, Pedro Pascal. I think he's such a great actor, and like he's a good person, which is always sometimes hard to find in celebrities. So I really like that. And yeah, I first watched it with my dad, and the whole like dynamic of the two characters, so Ellie and Joel, that's their names. It's like a daughter-dad relationship. So it was honestly really special to watch it with him because like I grew up playing video games with him, and so like and the whole show is based on a video game, and then it also has this like daughter-dad dynamic. So that was really like that's a really good memory, and I'm really enjoying rewatching it now with my roommate because it gives me such a different perspective, and I'm like, oh my god, I remember this scene. Okay, and then next question is, what did I do yesterday? So yesterday I was supposed to wake up early and go to the farmer's market with my friend, but I totally slept in. The night before I went on this really long hike. It was like 10 miles, like 5,000 feet of elevation gain. So I was just super tired, and I woke up with my alarm and I just had to text her. I'm like, I can't make it. I need more sleep. So wasn't as productive in the morning as I hoped, but I ended up just getting some homework done and then going to work. I had a shift that wasn't too long. It was like 5 hours about. So I worked there, and then I took the bus home, and one of my friends came over, and there was a really big UFC fight going on, and I don't really follow UFC or like wrestling or anything that closely, but I'm in the MMA club. Like we learn, like boxing and self-defense and all that kind of stuff. So I've kind of gotten more immersed in that culture. So he came over and we watched that fight together. It was honestly a really good fight to watch, and he put money on it. I'm very anti-gambling, but he put money on it, and he actually ended up winning. So that was really fun. I like cooked us dinner while we watched, and then we just kind of like talked and chatted afterwards, and yeah. And then I just went to bed, and honestly, it wasn't as productive of a day as I was hoping, but it was still really fun. Okay, and last question for the day is, what am I going to do tomorrow? So it's Sunday right now. Tomorrow, Monday, is first day of classes, So I have 4 hours of class tomorrow, and they're back to back, which is kind of annoying because like I have to like speed eat my lunch in between. But honestly, I enjoy the classes, so I don't mind too much. And after my classes, I usually come home and like have a snack or something before going to the gym. So on Mondays, I go climbing at our school's like climbing center, and I usually do that from like 6:30 to 8-ish, like an hour and a half. It's honestly really fun. I go with my climbing partner, so we do top rope, which is like with harnesses and all that, and like we can really take our time with it. And I think that is a great way to strength train. So yeah, I'll do that for an hour and a half, and then I have MMA club on Mondays and Wednesdays from 8:30 to 9:30. So I have a little half-hour break in between where I'll like just go stretch or like rest or just like hang out in the gym for a little bit because we have like community spaces there. So I'll do that for half an hour, and then I'll go to the club, come home, and eat dinner and shower and all that. And usually, honestly, like I'm pretty tired after that just because I don't get home till 10. I don't finish like making dinner and showering till 11, and then I'm like, I gotta go to bed. Like I've been at the gym for 3 hours. It's about time. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for tomorrow. Okay, and those are all the questions that I have to answer today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and this is 英会話。
実践的な英会話を短期間で効率よく身につけたい方は、いろんなアメリカ人の生の英会話を学ぶのが一番です。英会話教材 This is 英会話では、アメリカ人約150人の生の英会話を紹介しています。概要欄に紹介していますので、ぜひ見てください。それでは次回をお楽しみに。